What?
Nothing, just looking at you. Watching you work. So here's something you've absolutely never seen before. This closet is...
Potato closet!
It is the potato closet now. This is off the laundry room downstairs in our basement. So we've cleared this out. It was just storage, and we have laid a sheet down and spread the potatoes out. Now, it would be more ideal for these to be spread out a little more thinly, but this is what it is. This is what we've got to work with. So we're just making sure to move them around to make sure that they're drying well. This closet, I would say, is about 6 by 4 feet, maybe 7 by 4 feet. So pretty big space to be covered with potatoes. So we actually went through and got rid of a bunch of stuff out of that closet. That has been on my to-do list. I knew it was gonna need to get done before this harvest season, and we just hadn't yet. You know how that is. Basically, my idea for that little closet is we're gonna maybe make some adjustments at some point if we feel like we need to. I just wanted to figure out what we needed, but there's still a clothing bar in there for like hanging clothes, and I'm gonna harvest my garlic and tie it up with twine and hang it from that clothing bar, because that's gonna be kind of the closest thing to a root cellar that I have. So it's that cool, dry, dark space that we need for storage for things like potatoes. Now, I have onions that also need to be harvested. Come on, come in here. Oh, there's a birdie in here.
Orange flies are really big flies.
That's right. And onions need a little bit of a different climate to cure. They basically need a ventilated but warm space out of the direct sunlight. So this is what we came up with. Back here in the high tunnel, actually many of you gave us some ideas about using the high tunnel for this, and since I have this area back here that hasn't been planted, I was waiting to use this for planting in the fall. We used a cattle panel and some chicken wire to make this where I can lay the onions out and they'll set up off the ground so they'll stay dry. What do you see?
Whole bunch of tomatoes.
Whole bunch of tomatoes. I see some tomato plants that need to be tied up.
Like this one needs to stay like this.
Yeah, that needs to be tied up. Some more, look at all those laying over. Gosh, that happens so fast. Now right here, not only is this space underneath the shade cloth, which blocks a lot of the sun, also these tomato plants are now tall enough that when the sun's rising over there, which is where it comes up, this is gonna be kind of a shady area, and then when it's setting there are all these trees here, so this will be nice and out of the direct sunlight for us to cure our onions. Look at these plants, they're so tall. I can't believe how big and healthy they are, and I haven't even gotten any tomatoes off of them yet.
Even taller than me.
Oh yes, they're definitely taller than you. Yep, time to tie tomatoes again. This is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So I'm noticing a little bit of this, which is blossoms drying up. That starts to happen when it's getting really hot outside, specifically if it's over about 90 degrees, 95 especially, tomatoes start dropping their blossoms. Not all of them fall off, but some definitely do.
The baby one. Baby.
Little baby peppers. The onions are up in the front. We gotta go pick the onions. You wanna do it? It's actually really nice and cool this evening. And by cool, I mean like comparative to how hot it was today. It's like, I don't know, 80 right now. At those cucamelons, we harvested our first cucamelon yesterday. Bear, are you saying hi to Newt? Do you see those vines that are spilling over the beds? Malia, you want to give Newt a treat? You see those vines spilling over? Just go grab a couple little shoots off of that. That's sweet potato vine, and rabbits love that. You can pull one too. Y'all can both pull one.
Side.
Yeah, he's very friendly. He is so cute.
He is so cute. Like, I love this tree.
So here's my garlic and my onions. And a lot of the garlic is done. It's actually been done. You can kind of see that it's dying back. The onions are just starting to die back here. You can see that. With garlic and onions, that's how you know that they're done. Plus, a lot of times you can see them. I mean, these are really big. Let's see. I planted this garlic out here. I believe it was around January. It was pretty late. Normally you would plant it here in November, but I had these garlic cloves, which most of those came from Baker Creek. And I also had one variety from Stark Brothers. And then I got the onion sets from Stark Brothers, and those went in at the end of February. So put them all in. This is really fertile soil. They were in fresh compost, and they grew pretty quickly. I've been using these for a few weeks though. I've been pulling garlic to use as I need it and pulling onions to use as I need them. But now I need to cure both of these things so that we can store them. And basically curing is just allowing them to dry out, allowing the skins to dry out in circumstances where they can do that without mildewing. And then that way they can be put up and last a lot longer. One thing I really wanted to do with my own onions and garlic this year was to try to make my own onion powder and garlic powder. So I'm hoping by curing these and putting these up, I can keep them until obviously my kitchen's done and I can get back in it and do stuff like that. All right, so Malia, you wanna help us harvest?
Sure.
Okay, so we're gonna pull out all the garlic and the onions.
I got a tiny one.
And we're just gonna put them in stacks here. Garlic in one area. That's, hold on, look at it. What is that?
It's an onion too.
That's an onion. That's a garlic. So put the garlic in a separate stack. Let's sort them, okay? Here, over here. Go put it down. There we go. So let's stack them up because the garlic is going in the house to the storage room. The onions are going back to the back. All right, let's go get that other row. Oh wow, look at my zinnias over here.
Ooh, I smell one.
Blossoming.
That smells good.
You think that smells good? Those look beautiful.
Real good.
And look at this, look at the blossoms on these Kakuzi gourds. They're actually gourds, you use them like squash. I feel like these are fragrant. Maybe I'm smelling something else, but look at that, isn't that gorgeous?
Check out my pickles. Stop it.
You gonna check on your pickles?
I saw a baby tomato that was starting to turn orange, and I'm watching it, and I'm gonna eat that one.
What?
I saw a tomato over there, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that one so I can eat it.
That one's yours. You're claiming it. Ben got the first tomato out of the garden, and Malia might have been just a tiny bit salty. Just a tiny bit, right, Malia?
Just a little bit.
Malia was the resident tomato eater before Ben was a twinkle in our eye. All right, here's another row of onions, guys. I have spent so much time the last couple days in the hike tunnel and in the back garden that I came out here and realized how weedy these garden beds were, so it's high on the priority list for tomorrow. Whoa, that's a big one.
Looks like. Hey, take a picture.
I am.
Those onions are big.
They are big. They're really big. These, I believe, are the Walla Walla sweet onions.
That's a weird name.
Yeah. It's from a town called Walla Walla. Wow, these are big and good. What is it?
Big Daddy onion.
That's a Big Daddy onion.
I was expecting this one to be so big. And it came out like this.
What a letdown. Benjamin has abandoned us, gone to check for cucamelons. I know they do sound weird. Squeaky.
It fits in the big pile.
Yeah, that's a bitty one, but not itty bitty.
Yeah, that's the little pile back there.
Okay, it has one onion on it.
Yeah, I put it.
When I planted these, we had such a mild winter and then a really cool spring. And I planted these like at the end of February, and then we had the hardest freeze that we had throughout the winter. It was very cold for here. It was down to like 20 or so. And I was so afraid that all of the onions and the leeks that I put in were going to be able to not handle it. And they were all completely fine. They were super easy to plant, literally just pop a hole in the ground and put the onion sets in, which we got like 4 different varieties, I think, from Stark Bros. And they were all just sets. And we just planted them as soon as we got them. And 3.5 months later, we're harvesting pounds and pounds and pounds of onions. Here, don't put that one with the rest because it doesn't have its top. I need to take that one in the house.
And we're going to cook it.
Yeah, and eat it. They're actually really good raw. Y'all want to try them? Well, let's take the dirt off first. Yeah, just peel the dirty layers off, and then we can taste it. See, onions have layers. If you were old enough, I would make a Shrek reference, but you're not, so here we are. All right, you gonna bite it?
Yeah.
Okay, take a bite out of it. Let's see. Are you serious right now?
Spicy.
I was about to say, I'm about to. Too spicy for you? Malia, you game to try it?
No.
I've been eating them down here.
Well, I'll take a piece of it. I could eat another piece of that. Not that bad. But I do like onions.
Yeah, I know. Bear's watching over our harvest.
As soon as you said his name, he went, what?
Malia said she hopes that we will pickle all of these onions. Malia will eat pickled onions by the jar full. Probably won't pickle all of them, but we'll definitely pickle some of them. Now we got to get them back to the high tunnel and lay out on that rack. All right, let's load up the onions into this gorilla cart. Save us some time from making multiple trips. And also probably save some damage to the onion since we have very small hands helping. Guys, that is an onion haul. What in the world?
If you can.
Can you pull it?
I'm pulling it. I'm pulling it.
Good.
You have to pull it through the rocks.
You gotta pull it hard. Hey, you might have to let us help you, baby, because we're running out of light and we gotta get these loaded up in the back. All right.
Tickle.
Make sure they don't fall off.
Yep, why don't you walk behind the wagon and make sure none fall off. Oops, swing wide. French onion soup, onion powder, crispy fried onions, onion rings, pickled onions, caramelized onions. So good. Yeah, let's walk around the side instead of trying to maneuver that cart since it's so heavy laden, and we can actually load those in from the side. So this greenhouse stays open all day, every day during these hot months because it would get so hot in here if we were to take this shade cloth and close the sides that it would kill all these plants within a few hours. That's how hot it would be. It would be probably 130 degrees in here on a sunny day. Y'all grab the wagon. Ben, you wanna help?
I'll do it.
I'll push
Check
it out of here
that
so you
out.
can do it.
The sun is down. We've got the last vestiges of light and a whole bunch of onions. I think that looks pretty good. Never actually done this many onions at once before. The only thing I'm a little concerned about with this setup is the fact that they're running over a bed that has irrigation in it, and I'm concerned that if we're running the irrigation there might be humidity, so we might not use the irrigation on this bed while those onions are there. It's mostly peppers anyway, so I don't have to water them just super often, and I may just come out here and water those by hand while those onions are drying. I think that's gonna work. I would love some feedback and to get your opinions. I've never done this with this many onions before, but many people made that suggestion of using that area, and that's what we had on hand to be able to do that. Oh, they're sweet, Maya.
Firefly.
I know, I keep seeing the fireflies.
I caught one. Then I hold it in like really softly, and then I
Let it go. That's sweet. You got them all? Okay.
and we're getting.
We can ask. What are you doing, baby?
Just looking at the cottage garden.
We didn't get all the onions, Mom. There's more back there.
Flowers.
Those are leeks, not onions. So we're not harvesting the leeks today. So I am absolutely shocked by this garlic harvest. I really did not think that we were going to be getting any large bulbs of garlic at all, because I planted so late, and almost all of them came out.
We planted these garlics.
Yeah, we planted them late, me and you and the boys.
No, I did, and you did.
Yeah, and Toby and Ezra, remember?
Yeah, and so we put these in. Now we pull them all out,
That's the process.
and then we're going to eat them.
Yeah, that's right.
And I ate a bag of onion that didn't have these on them, and it tasted spicy.
I'll tell you what, that garlic to me is such a testament to just go ahead and plant it. Like if you're on the fence, just plant it and you won't know how well it could do unless you try. Seriously, I'd gotten these garlic cloves with intentions of planting them from Baker Creek and got busy, had a bunch of stuff going on, didn't get them planted. They sat down in my basement until they started to sprout in the paper bag. And one afternoon, we had a kind of warmish day in January. I was outside with the kids and I'd found those garlic cloves and thought, man, I meant to get these in. And some of them were so like soft and had gotten so soft that they really couldn't be planted. They were like rotten. Truly, it was like that late. And I thought, might as well just go ahead and throw them in the garden, because if I throw them in the trash can, I'll harvest no garlic. But if I put them in the garden, maybe I'll get something. It was just like a one-off, well, what's the worst that can happen? I've already got them. It might waste an hour of our time, but I'm gonna go ahead and try. And we just harvested a wagon full of fully mature garlic cloves I wouldn't have had if I had just thrown that away. I've been amazed every time that I've thought, well, I didn't get, I wasn't able to amend the soil because, we didn't have the money, or I wasn't able to get this in how I wanted because we didn't have the time, but here I've got this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do something instead of nothing. And I got way more. It usually just far surpasses my expectations. I'm amazed. I was pulling those cloves out. I even told the kids when we came down here, most of these cloves are gonna be really small. I knew some were good size because I pulled a few of them out. But I said, I know most of these are gonna be really small. Let's pile the small ones up here and let's pile the big ones up here. And I would say that 80% of those were as large as or larger than the heads of garlic that you would buy at the grocery store. It worked. Gardening time is over, babe. It's time to go inside. Put on our pajamas. Or I'll take a shower.
I'm gonna take a bath.
Alright, well come on.
Wait 1 second. Wait for the blink.
It's right next to you. Oh. Just to go ahead and finish up the thought of storing this stuff, we're laying the onions back there till the skins dry up and the tops dry up. I'll keep an eye on them and turn them over if they need to be turned over. That, I believe, should take a couple of weeks. I think that probably differs depending on the conditions. The garlic, I was watching Charles Dowding's video, and the way he does it is he actually cuts the roots off and just sort of cleans them up out in the garden, cuts some of the excess green off and peels a little bit of the outside off, and then he dries them that way. I'm gonna rewatch that and make sure that I'm understanding correctly, but I think that I will probably go ahead and cut the roots off at least. And those I'm gonna put in bundles of like 10 heads or so and hang them along the clothes bar in that closet and just hang them up. And we may get a fan going in there just to keep the air circulating to make sure that those things are all drying up well. But as for right now, we're gonna go inside. Actually, we're gonna go inside and paint cabinets, right? Woohoo! Thank you guys for hanging out with us this evening. What a fun evening. I love to harvest. It's the funnest part. God bless you guys. Until next time.